video, I'm going to be sharing with you the red flags, the signs that you need to look for to make sure that you are not scammed by someone pretending to be a reputable modeling agency. Hello, it is your girl Kamla-Kay. I am a professional model, agency sign model, and I am also a modeling coach for aspiring models. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the red flags, the signs that you need to look for to make sure that you are not scammed by someone pretending to be a reputable modeling agency. Now, if that sounds like information you're interested in hearing, or if you also love some of my other content, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos on modeling tips or just general lifestyle hacks that I want to share with you all. All right, so what is it? First and foremost, if you are someone that is an aspiring model, a beginner model, there are so many people out there that prey on your desire to become a model. And so sometimes they take advantage of models just like you. So we want to make sure that you are always safe when you are pursuing your modeling dream. And we want to make sure that you're safe, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. We want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of financially. So when you are submitting to a modeling agency, these are the signs that you are going to look for. Number one, if you contact a modeling agency, or especially with social media now, someone contacts you and says, hey, you look like someone that is a model. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to offer you a contract. If they ask you to send them nude photos, instant red flag. A modeling agency will never ask you to send them nude photos. Now, a modeling agency will potentially ask you to submit photos in your bathing suit because as a model, obviously, it's based on our looks, right? It's based on our image. So usually when you submit to modeling agencies, it is normal for them to ask you to submit digitals or Polaroid pictures of you in a bathing suit, but many agencies just ask for you to send them those things in jeans and a t-shirt. So just be very mindful of that nudes are a definite no-no. Things like lingerie are a definite no-no, but bathing suits are typical, but again, you just still have to be mindful of who you're sending those bathing suit images to. Next tip, if they ask you to pay to join their agency or submit credit card information so that they could have it on file to be able to, let's say they say, oh, we need to have your credit card information on file so that when we have to print your modeling photos or your modeling com cards, that we are able to charge your credit card. Total scam. Agencies will never ask for your credit card information, and you should never pay to join an agency. Now, will you have to pay to develop your portfolio? Yes. Will you have to pay to maybe print your modeling com cards, which I'll talk about com cards, what those are if you're not familiar, in another video. Yes, you will have to pay for things like that. Will you have to potentially pay for runway coaching classes or modeling coaching classes or acting classes? Yes. All valid, all legitimate, but you should not have to pay to get your foot in the door with that specific agency. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, you should never be asked to meet with someone after business hours. If an agency or a person contacts you and says, you know, hey, we're really busy during our work day. Would you like to meet up at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m.? Oh, a reputable agency is gonna say, meet us at our place of business, or at least maybe they have an office space that they rent, what have you, but they're gonna do it in business hours. Most legitimate agencies have a place of business, an exact address that you can Google, that you can look up, that you can see is valid and legit. And they will have specific days and times where you're able to go into their office to meet with them. So never meet with someone alone at night, and you shouldn't even be meeting them at night to begin with, even if you do bring a friend with them. But always be mindful of who you're meeting with and when and where you are meeting them. Our next tip, if someone pressures you into signing a contract, say that you go and meet with a modeling agency, maybe everything looks legit, maybe their building looks legit, maybe they have other model pictures on the walls, and it just seems like everything looks great. Yet when they say, we want to offer you a modeling contract, they're like, oh, we need you to sign this today, or we need you to sign this by tomorrow. That is never good. And I'll actually have another video that's gonna be coming up on how to respond to agencies, how to respond to photographers, but that's another video. So when they do contact you though, in the sense of the contracts, it is standard practice for you to say that you want to take 3 business days to go ahead and review that contract, because you want to make sure that you're either asking a trusted friend or even an attorney to help you review that contract to make sure that there's nothing in there that binds you to something that you are not in agreement with. So never sign a contract if they are rushing you. What happens sometimes is an agency will say, oh my gosh, Kamla, we love your look. We have an agency, or we have a client rather, that would love your look, but the only thing is the client is selecting models this week, and the only way that we can submit you to that client is if you sign the contract to show that we are able to represent you. Don't do that. Don't get so caught up in wanting to have this opportunity so quickly that you end up signing the contract just for them to be able to submit you to this new client, because a reputable agency knows that there will be other opportunities that come along and there's no reason for them to rush you in that. The thing that you want to avoid is that you do not give out your personal information. So I did mention the credit card. Another thing though is things like your social security number, because if you are not familiar with the agency yet, if you're not 100% certain that they're a reputable agency, you don't want to start filling out contact information and paperwork information that lists all of your private information, because obviously that's how people get scammed. That's how identity fraud happens, or identity theft. So be very mindful of that. All right, so all of those tips were extremely important in making sure that you are very mindful of the scams that happen with aspiring models. If you've liked those tips so far, be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my other videos. Also follow me at Kamla-Kay on Instagram. And also, if you do want to have more one-on-one interactions with me and get personal coaching with me, just remember I am a modeling coach, and all of that information about my private model coaching class is on my website. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.